Buenos tardes. Good afternoon from La Parada, Colombia, right by the Venezuelan border. I am joined by a very special guest today, who I'll introduce in just a second. Likewise, joined by Bhakti, our interpreter, and behind the camera, or maybe taking over the camera, is
Hello.
a familiar face. You think you could take over the camera now? So I flipped it around. How is it?
It's great.
Can maybe you get a little closer so people can hear us clearly?
Okay.
Okay, from this point on, it's going to be in English and Spanish. So today I am joined by my special guest, Mariano. Thank you very much, Mariano, for joining me today and for doing this interview. Okay, you're a bit shy right now.
Thank you very much. I'm always here for whatever help you ask.
Gracias. As the volume, how are we doing with the volume? Can you guys hear Bhakti when he speaks?
Nobody says anything.
Okay, and Annabelle can just let us know about the comments if people are talking about the volume and
Low. They say low. So I just go a little bit closer.
Okay, for the backstory, last year on Christmas,
Para entender un poco acerca de todo, el año pasado, Navidad,
I did an interview
hice una entrevista
very close to here in La Parada, Colombia, with Mariano.
con Mariana.
And back then, you were in a very difficult situation. And you described that in the interview we did last December on Christmas Day. And it was published at the beginning of this year. Now since then, fortunately, due to the generosity of many viewers who contributed money, we've been able to help you and your family out a little bit financially, and we might talk about that later on if you'd like to. But because this has been such a crazy year, and we have some catching local audio. We have some catching up to do. Can you tell us about what's happened for you over the past year? Like, have you had to go back to Venezuela? Can you share the story with us?
When the quarantine started, I had a job. The thing is that in my job, they took out all the employees. I was sometime living with a Colombian and he would help me.
You have to speak louder.
Then I had started to have some trouble with this Colombian guy, and when the quarantine started, and with the situation of the quarantine, I only stayed there 1 week with people that are like my family. And I crossed the border in the morning, bright early, and I had to wait there for 3 days in a terminal about the size of this field.
Yeah, it just shows a field.
This terminal is right on the other side of the border, like the other side of the bridge here.
Al otro lado de la frontera. Yes, it's on the other side of the bridge. But when I preferred to go back when the quarantine started. I crossed the border, and the terminal was full with people, children, people that were 4 or 5 days waiting for buses that the president from Venezuela wanted to bring back people from that were here back to his country. So I found out that they were taking people for free, and since I didn't have any money, I went, and it was just horrible. There was people, many people, starving 4 or 5 days at a time, waiting for this bus.
So this is still right on the other side
Entonces esto es
of
justo
the
aquí
border?
al otro lado de la frontera. Yes, right here
And
in
there are
the
many-
terminal
there were people
across the border.
starving.
Y
They
había
were actually
gente
starving in this bus terminal right on the other side.
hambriada. All the people that were there at that terminal were people that were here before at that time, here in Colombia. They went over there because the government was taking people back to their cities, Valencia and whatever city they used to live. But it wasn't easy. It's not a queue that you're just here and that's it. You have to wait. Some people waited for 5 days. People that only ate pura como. Okay, so just ate raw food. When I left the Colombian guy, I only asked for some money, to go back to Venezuela. And, I prefer to wait these long lines, to take something back to my mom. So I crossed the Trocha. It was like 5 hours waiting to get the results of the COVID, and when I went into the terminal, that it was just jam-packed. But thank God he didn't leave me on my own. A police officer called me over and told me to go on the bus, and I didn't wait for too long. But there was a lot of people there waiting for a long time, going hungry. They just filled that bus. They packed it up, one right on top of the other with babies and all. Almost 2 days we lasted in the whole trip. People were hungry, crying, sweating.
This was a 2-day bus trip to your hometown, Valencia, or
¿Eso
where did
era
the
un
bus
viaje de 2 días hacia Valencia o...? So the government sent several buses, and they would stop wherever the people needed to go to different cities.
Chat says never give up.
Maybe we let this truck pass. Can you ask people again, or I can ask you? Are you hearing Mariangel and the translation all right? Hopefully you are. And meanwhile, let's continue. I'm sorry again.
Yes, Bifil says yes.
The bus trip was to where? I'm sorry.
Entonces, ¿cómo fue que dijiste el viaje del bus fue hacia dónde? ¿A dónde ibas? Mine was to Valencia, but there was many buses that went to different places that the government was paying for.
So you returned to Valencia.
Entonces regresaste a Valencia.
What was life like there?
durante la cuarentena? ¿Cómo era la vida allá? Damn. I went there without my family knowing. And when I got there, my mom was working, and so I waited for her, and she was very happy. But I didn't see her too good. I saw her skinnier.
Did she seem like she was starving? How
Parecía que estaba hambrienta. ¿Cómo estaba ella? Different. She wasn't the same. You know, skinnier, tired. My mom works a lot.
Can you remind, most people probably don't remember from the interview, what is your mother's work?
Y la mayoría de las personas, the Spanish too?
No, just when you speak English.
La mayoría de las personas quizás no se acuerdan. ¿Qué es lo que trabaja tu mamá?
Mamá trabaja en una panadería limpiando.
My mother works en una panadería, at a bakery, cleaning.
People are asking if she got in trouble after she did her last interview.
We'll get to that a little later. But yeah, Annabelle, can you keep letting us know what the chat is up to? So can you describe life in general in Valencia during the quarantine?
En general en Valencia durante la cuarentena.
Bueno, allá no estaba la situación muy bien porque allá el sueldo.
Well, the situation over there wasn't very well because, you know, money doesn't go far over there. The income isn't enough, and now it's even less. I remember that the salary, her salary, or she would buy something to eat, or sometimes she would buy things for personal hygiene. So she would have to decide between one or the other.
And what about other people?
¿Y qué hay de otras personas en Valencia? Everybody was the same. I'm not gonna say that there's a lot of hunger because it's not like that. I mean, my mom, if we have the possibility to receive any money, there's people that can find money. There's people that kind of have some people that don't have any at all.
What about the quarantine?
¿Y qué hay de las medidas de cuarentena? La mayoría de los negocios cerraron, se quedaron sin trabajo, la mayoría de las cosas se permanecieron abiertas. They took out a lot of people from their jobs. When I got there, before I got home, I met a girl that had lost her job, and she was crying. And so she told me that they were firing a lot of people, so I was very scared before arriving home. But once I arrived home, everything was fine. My mom still had a job.
So, was there no curfew?
No habían horas en que no podían salir. Podías salir a cualquier hora del día. No, you couldn't go out. They would take people to jail for 12 hours, but then they let you out again.
So if
you can't go out.
If you leave your house without permission,
entonces si te vas de la casa sin permiso,
they take you to jail for
te
12
llevan
hours?
a la cárcel por 12 horas.
Depende si me ves.
Depends. If they see me, yes.
And when would you have permission to leave your
¿Cuándo
house?
tendrías permiso para salir de la casa? ¿Algún día en particular de la semana o cuándo se puede salir?
O sea, allá, ahorita se trabaja de
Well, right now
desde temprano hasta el mediodía solamente trabajo.
you work early in the morning till midday only.
Ah, mira, ve, allá ahorita antes de yo venirme,
Right now, right prior
cuando
to
yo llegué
coming
daban
back,
cuarentena.
they were in quarantine.
Pero ahorita solamente
But right
una
now,
semana sí, una semana
it's
no.
only 1 week on and 1 week off.
Por allá,
What about
The-
I'm
por allá se le dice una semana de cuarentena y la semana que no se cuarentena se le dicen flexible.
So they call them over there a flexible week and a quarantine week. So that means that they can go out 1 week and they can't go out the other week.
So during quarantine week, they can't leave their house at all?
Entonces durante la semana de cuarentena no se puede salir para nada. No, you can't go out. 1 week yes and 1 week you can't.
So your mother, for instance,
Entonces, por ejemplo, tu mamá
she would work at the bakery 1 week and
Trabaja
then 1 week she
en la
would be
panadería
off
una
at
semana
home?
y la otra semana no trabajaba.
No, una semana la trabaja hasta el mediodía y la otra semana sí la trabaja completa hasta las 6, 7 de la noche.
Okay, so at the bakery, her mother would work 1 week completely, and the other week she only works till midday, till noon.
With the pandemic going
Con la
on,
pandemia que está pasando,
did it seem like there were many people sick?
parecía que había muchas personas enfermas en Valencia.
Could you tell if
Podrías
it was
notar
different from
que si era
usual times, or
diferente
people are just unhealthy in general
antes,
because
o
of the poverty
simplemente
and the hunger?
la gente estaba con malestar igual que
No, allá
antes.
había gente más con hambre que gente más enferma.
No, over there were more people starving than hungry at all,
So
than sick at all.
the hospitals were
Entonces los
not full of
hospitales no
patients.
estaban llenos de pacientes.
Mira, ve, en realidad,
Well,
allá
you know,
alguien se enfermaba.
In reality,
con
if
una
somebody got sick
fiebre.
with a fever,
Yo cuando me fui aquí para allá,
you know, when I went from here to there,
yo me estaban buscando mucho y te salía hasta por internet. y
they were
todo,
looking for me a lot.
porque
I even,
yo había mi nombre completo y todo, con mi cédula, todo.
because
todo.
my full
Yo
name,
había llegado enferma de eso.
people were saying that I was sick with COVID, so everybody was looking for me.
Why were people saying?
¿Por qué estaba la gente diciendo que tú tenías COVID?
En realidad yo no sé, yo
I don't know.
solamente yo llegué allá y
The only
me
thing
fueron a buscar doctores,
I
que
know is
hacen
that
pruebas,
many doctors came to do tests, lab tests,
y alguien me subió por fase
and
que
somebody
yo estaba enferma, pero a lo mejor
put on
lo hizo
face
por-
that I was sick, but that's
Someone
it.
put on Facebook?
Mhm.
When did you decide that you were going to come back to Colombia, and why did you decide that?
¿Cuándo decidiste que ibas a regresar a Colombia y por qué decidiste hacerlo?
Lo que pasa es que yo
The thing is
allá,
that over there,
mi mamá,
my mom,
me gusta mucho ayudar a mi mamá,
I
¿sabes?
like to help a lot my mom, you know.
A pesar de que me
Even
ven
though
así pobre, yo
you-
cuando tengo la
You
mano,
might see me poor. ¿Qué fue lo último que hice?
así como así, pues
Ajá.
yo ayudo a mi mamá cuando pueda, yo le mando.
Even
No
though
siempre,
you
pero
might look at me and you might say, you know, I don't have much, but that's what I like to do. I like to help my mom.
But eventually, all right, before that, was there any other help, like say coming from the government? In
¿Había
a lot of
alguna otra
countries-
ayuda?
In a lot of countries,
Por ejemplo,
they're-
del
they're
gobierno?
giving money to the people
En muchos
because they're
países
out of
están
work during the
dando
pandemic.
dinero porque no tienen trabajo.
aquí que sí me dan ayuda.
Here, if they don't give me any help,
The Venezuelan government
el
does not
gobierno
give you any
venezolano no te da ninguna ayuda.
No, a mí yo no tengo ninguna ayuda y
No, I don't have
mi
any
mamá-
help.
Allá el gobierno
And
le da ayuda a la gente que le da por lo menos
over
lo que
there,
ellos mandan es para como que alcance ponte.
the
Ellos
government,
mandan y alcanzan es para una harina.
what they
Porque
give
yo tuve
is
por allá una
to
harina, un
like
arroz o algo.
maybe a pack of rice or flour.
No alcanza para nada.
It's not
Y una sola
enough
vez al
for
mes y
anything, and it's
así
only
recibes ayuda
once a
nada más.
month, and that's the only help that they get from the government.
Y no, mi mamá,
rice
todo el
and
mundo,
flour.
el carnet de la patria.
With a system that they have down that's
Los
called
bonos.
the Carnet de la Patria and the bonus, which is bonuses that they receive from the government.
Esa es la única
What's
ayuda.
Carnet de la Patria.
Carnet de la patria.
translate that?
Carnet de la Patria is like a government issued, extra official government issued ID that the government gives to the people in Venezuela to receive.
But there are a lot of fireworks around here and loud bangs. It's noisy around here. We tried to go to a quiet area, La Parada, if such a thing exists. But is this like a regular food stamp program, or this was pandemic assistance?
You want me to
Yeah,
answer
ask.
directly or ask? Okay.
Ask her that.
Esto del carnet de la patria es algo que surgió ahora por el COVID o es algo que ellos hacían antes.
De antes, siempre, o sea, el gobierno desde antes de la cuarentena hizo bonos y en esos bonos dan bonos a todo, casi todo el mundo.
No, this was something that was implemented prior to the quarantine, and that they gave these bonuses plus the food assistance. But that's not enough for everybody, for anybody.
All right. Eventually, you decided. that
Eventualmente
you
tú
were gonna
decidiste
leave your family
que ibas a dejar a tu familia
again in
de nuevo
Venezuela and
en Venezuela y
return
regresar
here to Colombia.
aquí a Colombia.
When did you decide that? And
¿Cuándo
why?
decidiste esto y por qué?
Yo allá también,
There I also, you know,
allá yo también
I also
trabajaba de
worked
que trabajo aquí,
in the same thing that I work here,
pero allá es peligroso,
but over there it's more dangerous.
por eso
That's why
prefiero trabajar por aquí
I prefer to work here
que pasar frío por allá.
than be in danger over there.
Chat has a question.
What's the question?
They are asking if the Colombian people are nice to you, and is the police here
gente
nice to
colombiana.
the
Hold up. Let's
Venezuela?
hold that question
Okay.
for a little bit. If you don't want to describe anything more about this, that's perfectly fine. We understand. But what are some of the dangers that you face in Venezuela with your line of work?
Si no quieres compartir alguna de las cosas que te pueden pasar, no es necesario. Pero la pregunta sería, ¿cuáles serían algunas de las cosas que te podrían pasar en Venezuela que sean peligrosas?
Que yo allá, yo
Over there.
trabajaba, o sea, yo soy de Valencia,
You know, I'm from Valencia,
del centro de Valencia. En el centro de
dead
Valencia
center of
se ve mucha
Valencia.
prostitución.
And there, it's very prostitution is very popular.
Yo trabajé ahí
I worked there
mientras en toda la cuarentena.
throughout the quarantine. I was working there in Valencia prior to coming
En
here.
realidad, varias veces.
And in many
Esa
instances,
es una calle larga donde
It's
te
a
montas en carros con
long
hombres que no
street
conocen.
where you get on in cars with men that you don't know.
Y ya he vivido, hemos pasado por tantas cosas
And I've
allá
lived
que ya no sé, ya no me confío si algún día me llega a pasar
So many
algo de
things
verdad
over
malo,
there
nadie
that,
de verdad me puede
you know,
ayudar.
if anything really happened, anything bad happened,
You don't want to.
si no quieres decir nada más, está bien.
Let me take a look at the chat I'll flip the camera around. This is tough stuff to discuss and deal with. Okay, nomadic viewers tuned in. Hey, nomadic viewer. Wow, I can tell I put on some sunscreen a little too late today. Someone's asking. People are asking about the GoFundMe. We'll address that toward the end. The money's already delivered, but maybe we can open a new line of donation or help. Hi, Melissa. Thank you for tuning in. Haven't seen you in a while or heard from you in a while. A lot of you can find the video on my channel. The video on my channel is titled Interview with a teenage Venezuelan prostitute, something like that. It was published on January 3rd of this year, I believe. Okay, let's go back to the. I can hold the camera like this. Mariangel, if you don't want to say anything more about what's happening to you in Venezuela, that's perfectly okay. Okay. Should we go on to a different topic?
¿Hablamos de otra cosa o?
No, que me pregunte lo que me quiera
No,
preguntar.
ask me whatever you want.
Okay, so what's something that would happen when these cars would line up
Entonces, ¿qué
in
sería
Valencia?
algún tipo de cosas que pasarían cuando estos carros esperaban allí?
No, nosotros trabajamos en un lugar donde solamente estábamos parados y los
We would
carros.
work in a place
Es una vía donde pasa gente, es el centro. Pasa gente
you know,
y
it's downtown. People
cualquier carro
cross.
se te para y te llama. Porque allá casi todas las mujeres trabajan
The
de
cars
eso.
will stop and just hail you.
Those are fireworks, not gunshots,
Una
right?
calle de
Those are
prostitución.
fireworks.
Oh, sorry. Back to the translation. Hold on. Okay, let's wait for the fireworks to stop. All right, can we continue with that? Where were we? You were-
Entonces, me estabas contando de la calle esta, ¿es como un callejón o?
Toman una foto conmigo, tienen que dar un billete. Dice.
Es una calle larga donde
It's a long
las
street
mujeres
where
se
women
paran en las esquinas.
stand in the corners.
Es una esquina, en cada esquina hay mujeres. Todo es
In
una
every
calle
corner,
como aquí en el
there's
centro de
women.
Cúcuta.
It's like a city downtown, like a road downtown.
Entonces los carros se te paran y tú te tienes que montar con ellos porque
So
trabajas
the cars
ahí.
stop, and you gotta get in the car with them, you know, because you work there.
Allá todo es dólares, allá nada
Over there,
de
everything's
bolívares.
in dollars.
Allá
Nothing is in bolívares.
todo es dólares, todo.
Is it like that throughout Venezuela?
¿Y eso es así por todo Venezuela?
Ya aceptan más dólares que bolívares.
They accept there are more dollars than bolívares.
Eso es como que si estuviera
It's
dolarizado.
like if it was dollarized.
Los zapatos valen $10.
You know, the shoes cost $10.
Todo vale 10, los pantalones 10.
Everything
Todo
costs
es
$10.
dólares, allá todo es
Everything's
dólares.
dollars over there.
All right, back to the cars. I'm sorry.
De nuevo a los carros, disculpe.
Bueno, entonces yo a juro me tengo que montar en un carro porque yo trabajo ahí.
I gotta get in one of these cars.
Y hay tipos a veces
And
que
there's guys
nunca me llegó a pasar.
It never happened to
Nunca me
me,
llegó a pasar, pero sí le ha pasado a
but it
amigas.
has happened to
Y
friends
sí
of
he
mine.
visto mucha
And I've
gente.
seen
Yo cuando veo a alguien que es raro, que tiene cara
many
así
people. If I
de
see
que
somebody
no.
that
no
has a
me
weird
voy.
face, I don't get in the car with them.
What has happened to many friends of
¿Qué
yours?
le ha pasado a muchas amigas tuyas?
Bueno, a una amiga que es la tía mía,
Well,
ella,
a friend of mine, which is my aunt,
ella la que le entrevistaron conmigo la otra
that
vez,
you guys interviewed the other day,
ella también le llegó a pasar.
it
Ella
happened to her.
se fue en un carro.
She went in a car
Yo vi cuando ella se fue,
I
ella
went- I saw when
llegó
she
como a
left.
las 2 horas.
and she came back like 2 hours
Llegó
later,
caminando, llegó llorando
walking, crying.
porque un tipo le
because
sacó un
A
cuchillo
guy pulled out a knife
y estuvo con ella así.
and was with her without,
Y ella se fue, se volvió donde estaba.
and she left. She went back.
Gracias a Dios no le pasó nada.
Thank God nothing happened to her.
Y no vaya a ser que muchas cosas, ya hay mucha gente mala que no.
Many things. There's a lot of bad people over there.
Prefiero trabajar en un
That I
lugar
prefer
donde,
to work in a place
en un solo lugar donde,
Where-
¿entiendes? Donde como un
know,
negocio,
do you
pues
understand
yo
the
prefiero
pro-
trabajar
like
en un
a-
negocio que estar trabajando en la calle
I
como lo
prefer to
hacía en
work in
Valencia.
a business rather than on the street, like in Valencia.
So you made the decision to come back here
Tomaste la decisión
to
de regresar
Colombia,
aquí a Colombia.
and what was it like? How did you get back from Valencia to La Parada here in Colombia?
Viaje de Valencia aquí a la Parada.
No, ese fue lo peor.
Well, that was the worst.
Lo peor. Yo
I
me vine con 5 amigas,
came with 5 friends,
5 compañeras y 2 amigos. Éramos 7 personas que veníamos.
7 in all.
Pagamos una camioneta, ponte que media hora.
We paid
Y,
for a truck from Ponte to here for about half an hour.
y la demás, o sea, media hora en autobús, después que nos bajamos al autobús, de ahí
So half
solo
an hour on the
cola.
bus. Media hora en autobús y qué?
De ahí nos bajamos, nos dejaron hasta más o menos saliendo de Valencia y de ahí nos venimos caminando. Por todo ese
Half an
camino
hour
pidiendo cola.
on bus and just walking the rest way from Valencia over, asking for
En todo ese camino uno se encuentra gente subiendo y
rides.
bajando.
And you see in the whole road just people going,
Gente que se va para Venezuela, gente que viene para
people
Colombia.
coming from here to there and the other way around.
Me encontré a esta gente de 7 días caminando.
I found people that had been walking for 7 days,
Mujeres con coches,
women
bebés,
with strollers, babies,
pidiendo comida en las calles, por ahí
asking
en
for
todo el
food on
camino.
the streets.
Y es duro,
And it's hard.
es duro. Yo caminé mucho,
I walked a lot.
caminé mucho mira, nos tocó pasar
Look,
como
you
una
know,
montaña.
We had to
Un
cross like a
camino muy
mountain,
muy oscuro,
dark
larguísimo,
road,
largo,
very long, the dark road,
oscuro, caminando.
dark walking.
Caminando por todo
Just
eso, no veía
walking
nada.
alongside it. We couldn't see anything.
Caminando me vine. Hasta ahí sí nos daban cola, pero
And we walked most of the way. We did get rides, but
nos costaba.
it would cost us.
Pero llegué.
But
Duré 2 días nada
I'm
más.
here.
2 días caminando nada más.
It only took me 2 days walking here.
So there were checkpoints?
2 días caminando.
Entonces,
Hold up. But do you know about how much you walked?
¿sabes alrededor
Like
de cuánto caminaste?
kilometers or
Kilómetros?
miles?
Nah, muchos kilómetros, muchas
Many
millas.
kilometers, miles,
Muchas millas.
many miles.
And when you were hitchhiking, did you
Cuando
ever
estabas caminando,
run into any
¿te encontraste
trouble or
con
dangerous
algún
situations?
problema o situación peligrosa?
No, sí, la gente nos decía que
Well,
había
people,
lugares
would tell
peligrosos,
us that there
pero
were dangerous places, but
en realidad no me di cuenta porque en los
In
lugares que
reality,
pasé estaba solo y
I
cola.
didn't notice it because the places that I went through were alone or in line or with long lines.
As Annabelle was just asking, were there checkpoints?
Habían checkpoints, meaning
Where the police stops you or...
habían paradas de guardias.
Muchas. No, esos fueron los que nos quitaron el poquito de plata que nos quedaba.
There were many checkpoints. They were the ones that took the little money we had left.
So were these checkpoints manned by the Venezuelan National Guard?
Y estas paradas, ¿quién estaba ahí? Los guardias venezolanos.
No, yo me vine normal, en ninguna parada nos pararon porque ya los arcadoras están acostumbrados a que pase gente subiendo y bajando.
Okay, no, I came normal, because the guards were accustomed to people just coming back
Pero
and
en las de aquí de San
But the
Antonio,
ones here in San
llegando ya
Antonio,
aquí a frontera,
forth. Arriving here to the
de
border,
donde se pusieron una sola arcadora, creo que fue la que se puso así. Nos agarraron,
Were
nos
one of the
metieron a todas mis
checkpoints.
amigas para adentro, nos
They-
revisaron, nos
they checked us
desnudaron
all over
y nos quitaron el poquito de
and they took the
plata que
last bit of money
teníamos.
we had.
Okay, so for clarity, San Antonio, we're here in La Parada on the Colombian side of the Venezuelan border. San Antonio is the city right on the Venezuelan side of the border. And so the Venezuelan guard took all of the money you had at the checkpoint in San Antonio?
Entonces, los guardias aquí en el punto venezolano se quitaron todo el dinero que tenían.
Sí, los de aquí de
The
San
ones
Antonio.
here in
San
San
Venezuela.
And
Only the ones in San Antonio.
are they doing that to basically everyone who's trying to cross back from Venezuela into Colombia? Or are they just picking certain people?
No, sí, dejan pasar gente, pero si ven algo que tienes de valor, te lo quitan.
Yeah, you know, they let people pass, but if they see that you have something of value on you, they take it.
Te cobran para
They
pasar.
charge you to cross
Cuando te piden algo para
Or they
dejar
ask
pasar
you
uno.
for something so that you're
Bueno,
allowed to cross.
cuando yo venía, yo a la persona que yo le tuve que pagar,
When I came,
cuando
the
yo-
person that I had to pay
bueno, en ese momento
at that time,
estaban mandando a regresar uno. Los mandaron a regresar otra vez.
they told some people to go back.
So,
They were sending some people back.
okay, so
Los
some people
regresan
couldn't.
para, imagínate tú, ves como yo vengo caminando de
Imagine,
allá para caminar aquí, para que me vuelvan a regresar.
Imagine me walking all the way over there, and then they send me back to walk all the way back to where I came from.
Pasé, antes de pasar una alcabala, los
Before,
policías no me dejaron pasar.
in one
en
of
esa
the
alcabala.
checkpoints, they
Y nos
didn't let me
dijeron-
cross.
Nos
They told us
que diéramos la vuelta por el monte.
that to cross the border through.
Tuvimos que pasar
Through the forest.
atrás de la alcabala. Tuvimos que pasar
So we
un
had to
camino
cross prior
y
to
subí
the
como
checkpoint.
una montaña para poder dar la vuelta por
We have to
delante
go
de la
over a
alcabala.
mountain, before getting here.
All right, so for people who haven't seen the last couple videos I published, the main border crossing right here is the Simon Bolivar International Bridge, and it's been, for the most part, closed for months. You could not cross the bridge, right? Or were you allowed to cross the bridge?
Aquí el puente ha estado cerrado por ya varios meses, ¿no? No podías cruzar el puente, o sí te dejaron cruzar el puente.
No. El puente está cerrado desde que empezó la
Bridge is
cuarentena.
closed since quarantine began.
No lo han
They
abierto.
haven't opened it
Lo
since.
abrieron fue hace poco,
They just
como
opened
5
it.
minutos, para que pasara gente por
Just,
ahí, porque ya las trochas estaban full de agua, había muchos pasajeros
Because
aquí
of the
trancados.
recent flood, you know, they let some people cross through the bridge recently, but that's it.
Nada más en ese momento que
Only
abrieron, la
at
abrieron,
that
no,
time,
la,
and then they
no
closed
creo
it
que la abran
back up.
todavía
I don't think
tampoco.
they'll open it back up.
So you had to go through the trochas, correct?
Entonces tuviste que cruzar las trochas, ¿correcto?
Now maybe
Cuando no llueve y cuando el río no está crecido.
maybe
Yes, of course, when it doesn't rain.
El agua, el río se lleva a la gente.
Because the river will take people downstream.
can you pop on really quickly and explain what the trochas are?
So the trochas are basically unofficial roads that people cross, not roads, just pathways where you have to cross the river, which is the Tatira River at this point, in order to get to the other side.
And we'll actually be documenting that and detailing that in upcoming videos. So can you describe what it was like to cross the trochas or a trocha?
¿Puedes describirnos cómo fue cruzar la trocha o cruzar las trochas? ¿Cómo es eso?
No, normal, porque, o
No,
sea,
no, because
ahí la gente pasa normal.
People cross there like nothing, normal.
Se pasa un puente.
You did not have to deal with any paramilitaries, because we know that there are
No tuviste que lidiar
like
con
organized crime
ningún tipo de paramilitar
elements
o-
operating
Yo
there.
sé- Nosotros sabemos que
Guerrilla.
hay otros grupos armados ahí.
Guerrillo. Puro guerrillo.
Just guerrillas.
Ay, no.
There's no.
Yo pasé normal.
I passed like nothing, normal.
Okay, so, a quick question. Youngster78 is asking, is she Venezuelan? Yes, Mariangel is Venezuelan. And also, Vicious9 Rodriguez is saying, shout out to the translator. He is on point. So, Bhakti, thank you very much for being on point with the translation. Okay, back to you. So you crossed into Colombia and are right on the Colombian side of the border. What's it been like to go back to life here and how long ago was it that you crossed?
¿Cuánto fue que cruzaste?
Hace como un mes ya,
It's
que
been
ya
about
tengo
a
un mes
month
que llegué de
now
Venezuela.
that I crossed here from Venezuela.
And what, let's say before I showed up here a week ago, what was
Llegar
life
aquí hace un mes, ¿cómo era
what was life like
la vida
here
antes de que yo llegara,
coming
llegara
back?
aquí hace una semana? ¿Cómo era la vida para ti?
Aquí,
Sí.
igual que siempre, luchando por tenerlo de uno.
Just like always, fighting to have.
Si yo no tengo y no tengo nada para comer,
Hold up,
nadie
hold
me da
up,
nada.
hold up 1 second. Someone's saying the stream just crashed. Are you guys seeing us and hearing us all right? Or is that not true? Can someone comment? Or Annabelle, maybe you can check on your phone. All right, we're good. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so I'm sorry about the interruption. Let's keep going. You were saying
Entonces, ¿qué fue lo último que dijiste?
Que
about
¿Cómo era
life
aquí
here after coming back.
Tu vida aquí, después de haber regresado hace una semana antes de hablar con
yo
él.
en verdad yo lo veo un poquito más rudo,
Ah,
Desde que yo llegué,
I
mira,
see
yo
things
cuando
a little
llegué,
bit more rough now.
cuando yo llegué aquí, esto no es ni la cuarta parte de lo que era antes de que empezara la
You
cuarentena.
know, this is not even a quarter of how things used to be when,
Mira, esa
when I
cancha
was
estaba
here.
limpia, cuando yo llegué está así.
This field used to be clean when I was here,
Let's look at the field.
and it wasn't like this.
All right, there's a look at the.
Todo está diferente, la gente está más flaca, todo está
Everything's
diferente.
different. People are skinnier.
So are we talking for the people who don't have such a good grasp of La Parada and life here? Are we talking about Venezuelans living here who are skinnier?
Estamos hablando de las personas venezolanas aquí viviendo que están más delgadas o
Más delgada la gente aquí, todas las personas que yo vi
Yes.
cuando yo estuve aquí,
here, all the
cuando
people that I
llegué
used to
estaban
know
más delgadas. Ni
are
siquiera yo,
all,
sola,
not even I, having been in Venezuela, am I as thin as the people that stayed here.
I showed up a week ago. In this case, I am somewhat a part of the story. I showed up a week ago,
Hace una semana llegué
and I came with money
algún dinero,
that donors had contributed through the GoFundMe campaign.
dieron mediante una campaña.
And Jesus, who was the translator in the interview we did last time,
Con la entrevista que hicimos la vez pasada,
he and I presented you
yo te presentamos.
with that. Can someone say if you can see me and hear me? The phone looks all right now on my end. It was going out for a little bit. Can anyone say if you see us, if you hear us? Annabelle's also recording offline, so if this connection fails, then we'll have. All right, back to normal. Thank you very much. So you received the money.
Recibiste el dinero
What was that like, and what is the past week
y esta
been like
última
now?
semana, ¿cómo
Or
ha
what has the
sido-
past week been like?
cómo ha sido para ti?
yo me sentí muy bien
I felt
porque
very
en
good
realidad todo lo que nunca me he comprado
In reality, everything that I've never bought myself,
lo tenía para.
I had enough to do that.
And did your family did you send some of the money
¿Y
to your
tu familia
family in
¿Le
Venezuela?
mandaste algún dinero a tus familiares?
Claro, sí fue lo primero que hice.
Yeah, of course. That's the first thing I did.
What was your mother's reaction or your
¿Cómo fue la
family's reaction
reacción
to
de tu
receiving the
Yo
money?
no hablo mucho con mi mamá porque
I'm not talking
allá
very much
no
with
hay
my
ningún
mom
tipo de
because
comunicación.
there's no means of communication
Mi
over there.
amiga
My friends,
tengo una amiga que tiene un
I do
WhatsApp
have a friend that has a WhatsApp,
Y ahí fue que me pude comunicar con ella.
And that's how I was able to communicate with her.
Le dije lo que le había mandado y hablé con ella por videollamada.
And they told her that I had sent her, and we had a video chat.
Lloró,
She
estaba
cried.
muy alegre.
She was very happy.
Unfortunately, all right, thanks, B Fields. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Unfortunately, giving you money,
Desafortunadamente,
especially a pretty large amount of money
una
here,
gran cantidad
here in La Parada
aquí en La Parada
can be somewhat
puede ser
risky.
un poco riesgoso.
That this is not the it's not, say, the safest place to be holding a lot of cash, and unfortunately,
Mejor lugar para tener
I don't
una gran
think
suma de dinero
I
en
don't
la
think
mano.
putting the money in a Colombian bank or a
No
bank
pienso
here
que-
is an option for you.
Creo que no tienes la opción de guardarlo en un banco acá
You,
en Colombia.
I've heard from
Tampoco un banco.
Not in a bank either. She's asking. She doesn't know this kind of stuff.
oh well. As far as I understand, your options are pretty limited here with your status in Colombia.
Debido a que tu estatus legal aquí, no tienes muchas opciones donde guardar ese dinero.
But I don't know. Maybe there's a way of addressing that.
Si de pronto hay alguna forma de buscar la forma a eso.
But I want to bring this up because I know there are people who still would like to give money.
Quiero atender este punto porque yo sé que quizás hay personas que aún quieran donar algo.
And I know it's been a struggle for you
Sé que ha sido algo bastante fuerte para ti.
to protect that money and to ward off some of the people and influences in your life who can be problematic, especially if you're receiving money like that. So I just want to put it out there that
Quiero que dar dinero,
but
pero
I would recommend that if you do want to give, I would recommend, someone's saying we're choppy again. I would recommend if you do want to give money that you contact
quieren dar
me
dinero,
directly,
que me contacten directamente.
and hopefully we can find some way of
Y Dios mediante podemos encontrar
administering
alguna
this
forma
money
de
and
administrar
delivering it in a better and safer manner.
mejor y más seguro.
And I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm a journalist, not
Solo soy un periodista,
a humanitarian,
un humanitario,
at least not professionally.
profesionalmente.
And I personally don't want to hold the money,
No quiero
but
tener el dinero.
but I understand that there are people who want to give, and I understand your situation is still really difficult. So
Sigue siendo bastante difícil.
if it's possible for me to connect donors with you, I'm willing to try to help out more.
Estoy dispuesto a ayudarte más.
Do you have any thoughts about this? Would you like to say anything about
¿Quisieras decir algo al
this
respecto
the situation?
de esta situación?
¿Cómo?
¿Quisieras decir algo al respecto de esta situación?
No.
Shake.
Okay. All right. Mariano doesn't want to say anything more about that. Okay. So I mean, like I said, it's complicated here. If you do want to give, just try to get in touch with me directly, and I'll try to get you in touch with someone who can receive and administer the money. I really can't make any promises, but we can try to make something more happen if possible. Yeah, there are having money here, and I'm trying not to advertise it a whole lot, but word gets around, and having money here can attract problems and attract danger. Someone was asking earlier. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Yeah, that was just me really talking to the broadcast. Someone was asking earlier, what are Colombians like? How is it like to live with Colombians? What are Colombians? How do Colombians treat you?
Los colombianos, todos los colombianos aquí,
All
yo
Colombians here
son mala gente.
are
Yo no trato mucho con colombianos.
bad people. I don't
Los que
hang around too much
más
with
me rodean
Colombians.
son venezolanos.
Most people that I hang out are Venezuelan.
Jim is asking, is it safe at the Again, fireworks, not gunshots. That's what they say in Chaz or Chop also, when they're really fireworks and not gunshots. Jim is asking, is it safe at the location where you're located?
¿Es seguro aquí donde estás ubicado?
Que sí, seguro.
¿Te sientes a salvo aquí o estás seguro?
No, yo quiero. No, he pasado por muchas cosas aquí que yo no.
No, it's not safe here. Many things have happened to me here that
If you want to say, you can say. If you don't want to say, you don't need to
puedes
say.
decirlo. Si no quieres decirlo, no tienes que decirlo.
No, yo me quiero ir de aquí
No, I
a
wanna
la
leave
primera la
this place.
oportunidad que se me presente.
At the
Me
first
voy.
opportunity to leave,
Me voy.
I'll go.
I know some people have asked because they've contacted me directly. Would you be willing to move somewhere far away, like to another country, if you had the opportunity?
Que si me han ofrecido.
O sea, si te lo ofrecen, tomarías eso.
Ay, claro, yo
Of course,
aquí
I
en
would take
realidad yo no soy una persona
Here,
mala. Yo he ayudado
In reality,
aquí.
I'm not a
Tengo
bad
mucha
person.
gente aquí que quiero, pero
There's a
en
lot of people here that I
realidad
love, but
no cuento con nadie porque
I
nadie
can't count on anybody here.
o sea, yo digo que son familia mía, pero
I say
no,
they're family, but
no es lo que me
It's
he
not.
dado de cuenta.
it's not.
No me quiero ir, me quiero alejar de todo
Not
el
everything
mundo.
is what it seems, and that's why I want to get away from here.
But would you be okay with moving somewhere far away from your actual
¿Estarías
family?
dispuesta?
Like here, you're at
irte a
least
vivir a
right
otro
next to
lugar? Que
Venezuela.
ahora no estás al lado de Venezuela, pero si te ofrecieran irte a otro país,
Me voy.
I would leave.
Ni
I
para
would go.
contar de yo está bien y
As
ayudar a
long
mi
as
mamá me
I'm
voy.
good and I can help my mother in some way, that's fine.
Okay, well, me personally chiming in again, maybe that could be possible. People have reached out and asked about that, so who knows? I mean, people are granted asylum in other countries or given the chance to immigrate for humanitarian reasons. Maybe that's possible. You want to translate that or summarize it?
Entonces, él está hablándole al público diciéndole que quizás esto que hemos planteado sea posible, ¿sí? Para que, o sea, él conoce que se han dado permisos humanitarios para que esto sea posible.
Okay, chat, any final comments or questions? We're going to wrap this up. Before I let Mariangel have a final say, if you have a last comment or question, Melissa. Okay, Melissa says, smuggle her and her mom to me. I will look after them.
Melissa dice,
And she leaves a heart.
yeah.
I know who Melissa is.
Yeah.
¿Qué?
Melissa dice, mándamela por la trocha y yo la cuido a ella y su mamá.
¿Quién?
We can talk about that. I don't know if it's a serious offer, but it might be. Some people have offered. Okay, then I would like to wrap this up, Mariangel, by
estaría
just
terminar
giving
esto
you the chance
solo dándote
to
la
say
oportunidad
anything you
de
want.
decir lo que quieras.
Nada, solamente yo le doy las gracias a todos los que me
Nothing, you know,
ayuden y a
I'm
los
just
que no me
very
quieran ayudar
thankful
también.
for all the help that you have given,
Por todo, gracias por
for
todo.
everything. Thank you so much.
Hasta por estarme.
Even just for listening to me.
De nada. I'm listening to you is my job.
De nada, escucharte es mi trabajo.
Okay, then maybe Annabelle, you want to pop in for 1 second. You've observed a lot over the past week.
Oh my god, I got a sunburn, I think.
I'm sunburned also for the second time here in Cucuta.
Se quemaron con el
Do you have any comments or you have any observations or final comments for Mariano?
para Mariana.
Yeah, I mean, this girl went, basically through hell. She had to walk through the mud, and, she's just 18 years old. These are heartbreaking stories, what you hear her.
La
And
historia es
we are just here, to share the
toca mucho
stories.
corazón y para eso estamos aquí, para compartir esta
Maybe we
historia.
can help a little bit.
Quizás podemos ayudar un poco.
But what I can say,
Lo que
all
sí
those
puedo
people
decir-
and all those girls, they have so much heart, and
estas
they are
personas
so
tienen mucho
beautiful,
corazón,
and
son
they
tan
just
bellas.
deserve to have a future.
Y merecen tener un buen futuro.
Okay. Should we leave it at that?
And also, Mariangel told me, I mean, she's a very strong woman for her age, and she told me, like, everything what happened to her will just make her stronger.
La hará más fuerte.
Yeah.
All right, then let's leave it at that. We'll see if more can be done to help. I can't make promises, but maybe. So everyone can try to be in touch with everyone, and I just like to say once more, muchas gracias,
Gracias a ustedes.
Muchas gracias.
T. And it's been an interesting ride meeting you almost a year ago,
Hace un año.
Sí.
launching this fundraiser, and then right after launching it, the lockdown took effect, and
Que te hayamos
we
conseguido
lost you, we lost contact with you, and
un año después pasó todo el COVID, perdimos contacto contigo
here we are
y aquí estamos
again.
otra vez.
Otra vez,
Otra
yeah,
vez.
okay.
I really thought it would have been impossible to find this girl.
Yo
But
pensé que era
we did it.
encontrarla, pero lo
And now we're going to stay in touch with each other.
hicimos.
And
Tener contacto.
So obviously a very difficult situation.
Una situación
Can't make any promises.
que promete.
I'm grateful to be here documenting it. I'm very grateful for everything you've shared with us. So all I've got to say is mucho.
still working.
All right.
Okay.
We're one last time. Thank you. Muchas gracias. You've been a great translator.
At your service.
Thank you for facilitating this. So, all right, from La Parada, Colombia, right next to the Venezuelan border. Thank you everyone for watching and participating, and adios amigos.
Tschüss!
See you next time. Lots more to come in terms of reports from the border, by the way. Goodbye.